Good morning. It is Tuesday, and this is Investing Bros coming at you today. Tim, I know you guys are missing the beard already, and he's not here, but that's okay. He's out a little bit sick today. So it's going to be T-Shroom and I. We're holding down the show today, and we're going to be bringing you guys all the alpha, all of the charts. If you guys haven't done so yet, and you've been sitting here waiting and talking and chatting it up like you've been doing in the chat, go ahead and hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe, and let us know that you are supporting the show. That's what that does for us. But I'm not doing the show alone. Like I said, it is me and my partner over there back finally, and we're so happy to have him back. It's T-Shroom. T-Shroom, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing better than I deserve, Piper. Really having a good morning so far. Having some coffee. It's been a while since I've been able to get back into my coffee routine. 2 weeks to be
That's
exact.
important.
And I've got to say, the things I'm seeing across the market are starting to make a little more sense. I got to say, when I first came back from my 2-week training, things were very confusing. It was like drinking out of a fire hose. It was all a lot, all at once. But things are starting to make a little bit more sense. So that's pretty good. Looking at the quote of the day, it's kind of coincide with Tim being sick here. So if you work in a hospital, you can't easily fake call in sick to work. Oh, you're sick? Well, why don't you come into work and we'll have a look at it. So I thought that was pretty funny. And Tim is actually sick. He's not faking it. So he had a little bit of a stomach bug, it looks like, and may have actually had some food poisoning, unfortunately. So we'll be our thoughts and prayers will be with Tim as he recovers today, and we'll more than likely be on the show tomorrow, unless his sickness is something a little more serious, God forbid. Well, Piper, we'll throw it over to you. Let's go ahead and see what names are in the chat and see who got first.
Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, I'm used to hitting Tim's camera after you, man. Like I got it all set up here. I gotta reconfigure a stream deck just for the two of us.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
no
let's
worries.
go ahead and do that. And hey, can you find out if it was food sickness where he ate at? So we all know don't go there. Let's go
Absolutely.
ahead and jump in. First off, this morning we had Bedridden. Bedridden was first in the shoot today, guys, on the comments. So, congrats to him. That was awesome. I was looking everywhere for a mellow fellow and looking everywhere for Elo Brown. Was not seeing him anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Brocam here, and we can go through the comments together there. Yeah, so Bedridden, congrats to you. Who was second? I don't have it on my list here. Do you have who was second there, T-Shroom?
Well, it's saying now that Elo Brown and Eric Wallen were first and second, respectively. But I remember sitting there and watching
I
Bedridden
was
get number
watching.
one.
Bedridden was absolutely first this morning. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. And I did
So
put
it
a
was one of
bolo
those.
out. I put a be on the lookout for Elo Brown, for a mellow fellow, I think it was. And then I called I said, please report to the chat to Elo Brown, and someone said I was savage. So let's get into these names then. We got OBC in here, Gia S, good morning to you, Yair Navarro, Bedridden, all giving the heart face there with all the thanks to everyone. Filling that love from the bro family out here. We got a mellow fellow. He finally did show up. He said, what the heck? Tell T-Shroom to not post the link this early again, T-Shroom. That's what he said. Justin Eubanks in here. Mike Play. Let's see here. Scrolling down, getting into some more names. Mike Volmer's in here. Mike Volmer again. Yes, Tay Jones is in here. Tay Jones said good morning with the sunshine there. Curtis Rourke in the house. We got Ihachi Tobias over there at Chart Prime, man. He said, is Deutsche Bank buying tons of BTC? Question mark. We might talk about that here in a bit. Crux of Crypto at the Blue Wrench. Always glad to see him in here. Let's see who else we got in here. Crypto JMP, Crypto Pew Pew Cruise in the house. I'm gonna have to get a sound effect for him doing pew pew. Put it in here. Add it to my sound list here. Who else we got? We got Nancy Croy in here saying good morning, bros. Well, good morning to you too, Nancy. Brokoshi No Dinero is in the house today. We got you may know this guy, you may have heard of him. His name is Sativio Shramoto. Do you know that guy?
I do.
Yeah, you
I
might know
do.
him. You might know him. Let's see here. Crypto Trades, great morning, you beautiful people. Crypto Trades, it is great to be here with you beautiful people too. Who else we got? We got Brian D in here. Let's get a few more in here, and then we will move on with the show. T-Shroom said, yo. Not sure. Does that mean like you went away and now you're back like a yo-yo? I don't know what you're saying there, man. Max PP in here, crypto set guy in here. Always great to see the family. Lex Caliber, Lex, welcome, man. And Eric Wallen. Who else we got? Let's do two more. Oh, Crimson Caravan Company is in the house. Got the Triple C in here and ADA Ace. So I don't think I missed anyone. I think I got them all in here. But oh, smiles with a lot of S's in here. If I didn't get to your names, it doesn't mean that we don't love you. Oh, I cannot miss this one. Black Knight 001. Shout out to you, man, right here in El Paso, listening in on our show this morning as he's driving around. You're working that delivery truck for UPS. So shout out to him. I'm going to go ahead and say that that is it on the names. If we didn't get to your name, it doesn't mean we don't love you. It just means that we've got to get on with the show. And so I may not have the beard or the flow of Tim, but I must stick to a time schedule. So let's go ahead and jump over into the macroeconomic news. Click that. Let's change the banner and let's jump over and show you guys what I'm looking at here on the macroeconomic news front today. We are looking at Fed Bullard speech going on early this morning, 4:30 a.m. Not sure who he's talking to at that time. That is 6:30 a.m. in DC, and I was there long enough to know nobody is working that early over there. So we had building permits come out today. That was the big one. Came in at 1.491 million building permits that were put in for preliminary. Yes, I did. Daniel J. I hit the like button already. I did it first. Jeez, miss it one time. Okay, it was twice. But anyway, that came in at 1.491 million there, coming in just under what the consensus and forecast was. So a little bearish on the building permits, but that means that they're slowing down on building, which means that prices are probably starting to drop, and that's why. Let's see what else we got this week. Looking here, Fed Chair Powell's testimony is going to be taking place tomorrow morning, and I don't think we really have anything major this week until next week. Next week we're going to have that PCE coming in. So let's go ahead and take a look at Trueflation. Trueflation coming in neutral, guys. Absolutely neutral there. Let me move that over. Can I catch all on my way? There we go. 2.52% here on the Trueflation coming in neutral. No change to that. Let's check out the liquidations, see how many people got wrecked. Bitcoin, $25 million almost in liquidations. 13.9 million of those are short liquidations, guys. So people are trying to short Bitcoin and it just keeps hitting resistance and then they short and then it just turns around and says, nah, fam, I'm going up. So that is what happens there. It's not a beret, it's a newsboy hat, man. It's a flat cap. I'm filling my what was the name of that show, T-Shrew? That they had all these hats on. Somebody in the chat knows what I'm
Blues
talking
Clues.
about. No, not Blues Clues. Look at that Ethereum liquidations, guys. 15.2 million on that. And it's coming in about equal on longs versus shorts. The winner in the past 24 hours for the liquidations is Binance. So it was OKC, OKX. Now it's back to Binance. So that's what I'm looking at there. Let's move over into the CME Fed watch tool here. We're going to go ahead and look and see what the rates are right now. It's looking like still 77% are looking at a 25 basis point rate hike in July. That will be July 26th, so a little over a month from now before we get that. Go ahead and take a look over at September. September is going to be 66.6. We need to change that number. 66.6% chance of a rate hike or staying static in September if we have that occur in July. So even if this flips and we go pause right now in July, it's still saying in September that we will still be at 525 to 550. So Peaky Blinders, thank you, Daniel J. I appreciate it. Peaky Blinders. It's a Peaky Blinders hat. So I like my Peaky Blinders hat. That is what we're looking at there. Let's go ahead and jump over into the TA section and start showing some TA here on the charts, guys. We've got some things that I've been watching here. Big one, Bitcoin, of course. You guys know Bitcoin's just moving on its own out here and doing its thing, crushing a lot of people's hearts and souls over there in the trade world. Bitcoin right now currently coming in at 26,850. It is got a rejection. Let's see when this candle was here. This would be Monday evening. So last night in the evening time, we had a perfect rejection candle wick up into the golden pocket there, getting that rejection. And now just sitting sideways for about 12 hours now, guys, looking at 4-hour candles here. We can see on the prime oscillator that we do have a nice overbought showing up here, 2 blocks of it and a downtrend. That ribbon is about to pinch right now, and it does look like we could see a little pullback on this. I'll be watching for this 50% line. Previous resistance over here, previous resistance back here. Would be logical to see it come down and retest that 50. We are sitting above the dynamic reactor. That was where this push down that we had occurred here. If you guys are wondering what the colors is going on, what the color is going on with your candles, Army Piper, if you got that thought in your head, these colors here on these are coming from the MACD normalized down here. Right now, we're still sitting in the like this creamy green teal. I don't know what color you call this, but it looks like a mint. Maybe it's a mint green here, Teach Room, but
Like a
it's coming off of the Mac.
maybe a sea foam.
Seafoam, definitely a seafoam could fit in there. Yes, you can see right now it is starting to lighten up. When you see this lighten up like this, it does mean that we have the potential for the MACD to show downside movement on the histogram. But what I'm watching for here is the fast and slow moving signals, these right here. And that's what I'm going to be watching on here today to see if it plays out with anything. Because as of right now, you can see that we had a drop down, but it came back up. And right now, it does look like it's channeling in an upward angle here on the fast moving and slope. Can I get my marker? Thank you. I just totally timmed that thing.
Nice.
Looking right here, you can see that we've got the slow mover. It's just staying at an angle up, and normally you would see this fast mover move a lot quicker to the downside, which would cause another flip like we had here. But we're not seeing that on this MACD normalized. So if you guys want this, you guys can get that from Chart Prime. It's a free indicator. Doesn't cost anything to add this to your chart, and it's a fantastic new MACD that I've been loving the action on it and how it's playing out. So, looking here at the RSI primed, this is our exclusive RSI indicator oscillator that we have, sitting right above the 70% line. Not really getting much movement off of that either. Just kind of grinding sideways right now, guys, and that's okay. I would rather see it grind sideways and consolidate. Speaking of consolidation, you can see we have a consolidation score of 7, 10 being the highest. So we're pretty high in consolidation right now, but we have not dropped our prime score. Our prime score is still sitting at a 9, which means that we are definitively in a trend with strong consolidation. That gives me an idea that this is going to move to the upside today, guys. I really do think so. Let's go ahead and throw on one thing here. I got to Yep, there we go. Throwing on this new tier, it's a fixed range volume profile here. You can see that we got our nice support bounce on Bitcoin here yesterday, on Sunday, I should say, on the value area, low. If we are to break to the upside, guys, on Bitcoin, we do have an order block sitting right here above us. And this order block, though, it has low liquidity in it. So we could punch through this very easy. What I think we're going to do is we're going to come up off of the mats here. That is the moving average trend sniper. I think we're going to bounce up, get into the golden pocket again, and then get support out of that, come through this, and then we're going to be into the platinum pocket. I think if we get to the top of the platinum pocket, which is about $28,000, we're going to hit this order block here with medium liquidity in it and the point of control in the fixed range volume profile, which goes all the way back here to March 17th of 2023. So going back quite a ways on here for that point of control, and that would be a nice psychological number of 28,000 on the bullish side. If we were to get that flip on the MACD normalized that I was telling you guys about, and we break down off of this rejection, maybe look for one more bounce onto the 618 here at 27,000 before we pull down. Again, look for that 50 being that support line that we hit. If we don't hold that, look for this dynamic reactor coming in about 26,500 on Bitcoin for your support ranges and your resistance. That's Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and jump over into some other, let me get rid of these brush marks so they're not there for tomorrow. There we go. Let's go ahead and jump over into Ethereum, guys. Take a look at Ethereum here. Ethereum did break below its golden pocket last week here on the 15th of June. We got a nice support test here a bunch of times, a nice fake out wick, which is beautiful to see on the golden pocket. And now we have set ourselves at this gold line. Guys, excuse me, this gold line is the lower trade band of the predictive ranges. If you look out here at the 786, which is coming in at about 1825, that blue line offset there is the delta line of the predictive ranges. Remember, we typically trade between these two gold bands. I think that we may come down to retest this trend assist and hit that top of that golden pocket. That is possible. Anything's possible. It's crypto. But I do think that that is the likely downside target would be about that 1700 range right there. But if we break to the upside, watch for the dynamic reactor coming in currently at 1775. Watch for resistance at about 1800 on the mats, and then look for 1825 being that delta line and that 786 on that platinum pocket. And that's what I'd be looking for support resistance there. I am a little worried right now when I look at the cloud of our oscillator, because the Prime Oscillator Pro is showing us a squeeze on the cloud here. And when we see that, we tend to get a lot of movement really fast. And this would be, since it's high, likely downside movement. Keep in mind, though, we have been tight over here like this before, and the downside movement play that we got off of it went down to the dynamic reactor. We are below the dynamic reactor right now, but that's why I said this golden pocket is going to be key for support there. Let's go ahead and move into some XRP, and then we're going to get into some Cardano, and then we're going to finish it out with the Bitcoin dominance chart. Because, guys, Bitcoin dominance is the thing to talk about today.
That's right.
XRP. Oh, absolutely. XRP right now, you can see XRP on the fibs getting a rejection twice with a double top right there on the 50% line, coming in at about 49.65 cents. Also, at the same time, that double rejection came in on the dynamic reactor right there. We did have the downtrend arrow. Don't grab it, thank you. Downtrend arrow on the Oscillator Pro at the same time that we had this hidden bearish divergence. So continuing down here, but we are close to the zero line. There are a lot of times that we will get a bounce on the zero line, such as back here. And that's what we could see here, because also at the same time, the cloud bottom is going to be hitting in that range also. And when it likes to trade within the cloud a lot, so it will just like snake inside of the cloud here, and that's what I'm seeing happen right now with XRP. So it is possible that XRP could bounce here, maybe wicking down to the 382 at 475. But I would not be overly concerned with any pullback on XRP right now. It has been having a lot of volatility, but there is a lot of community out there. XRP Army, drop it in the chat there. But they are definitely watching to see some more spots to pick it up and move that to the upside. I am looking at, though, worst case scenario right now that we come down to this order block. It's a high liquidity order block at about 46.7. But right now, guys, looking a little weak on the oscillator, the Pro Trend Fusion oscillator, looking a little weak, money flow coming down, but I am not expecting it to drop too far, because even though you guys have seen how powerful these engulfing candles are in the RSI Prime, they have not played out to very big numbers so far, and I don't think that we're going to see a huge drop, in my opinion, not financial advice, on XRP. Let's go ahead and check out ADA and see how the ADA is looking, guys. ADA, I'm watching this here. I got some trend lines drawn on here right now. You can see picking up these bottom points and a few points at the top there. Remember, 3 touches makes a trend line. And oh, Tim in the chat, he said, "What's up, everyone? Hope I'm back tomorrow. Smash the like for these guys." Tim, we hope you feel better, brother. Where did you eat at? We got to know. We got to know where you ate. So look at here, guys. We are looking like sometime in the next 12 hour, we could have a breakout out of this. And let's just do a little measured move, see what that would look like here. It's going to be something like this. Let's go ahead and drop this over. It's going to put us back up here in a range of about 29.6 cents to 30 cents. Why do I think that's possible? Because it would make sense to get a breakout above this, grab the liquidity from these previous levels here, and then pull back down a little bit, maybe settling right here on the match line to give it a little bit of support in a retest. So be watching for that. If we break to the downside, though, guys, something that I do want to point out here, and this would be a juicy opportunity. I know a lot of people out there that would be grabbing this up, but if we break to the downside, that's going to put us down about 22 cents. What I'm really watching, and for ultimate support on ADA right now in the short term, guys, is going to be right here on the lower trade band of the predictive ranges right here, and that's coming in ironically at 20 cents. So I think 20 cents is going to be the level to watch if we break to the downside. I think there's going to be a massive amount of grab up there on that. I will say the oscillators and at least the Pro oscillator is looking stronger than a lot of the other things right now because it's just been so sold and consolidating. Got a 9 score on consolidation right now, and a very low trend score. So I would say that right now, especially with these hidden bullish divergences coming in, peak seeker coming in, and being at the bottom of the cloud, that we could see this start to come up. We did get that engulfing candle on RSI primed also. So this is giving me a lot of hope that this is going to break to the upside and not the downside, looking at the 8 in there. So let's go and check out the big one, guys. Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin dominance right now coming in at over 50%. We're at 50.14% right now on Bitcoin dominance. Climbing up, crushing through. You can see, guys, even on Bitcoin dominance. Here you go. This is our predictive ranges here, and this is our upper resistance band. We played on our upper resistance band twice on Bitcoin dominance before we broke through. And then once we did that, that's how we got above the 50% mark there. So you can see that even these indicators work on Bitcoin dominance, which was how I was knowing that it was time to move over into Bitcoin and get out of all those alts that I had. I still love all the alts, don't get me wrong, but I felt that it was safer to sit inside of Bitcoin right now, putting it in a 3x leverage trade, low leverage, low risk. That way, if Bitcoin takes off, I'm making the money. If the alts start to move with it, I'm 3x'd on my Bitcoin. I got a lot of profit in that that I can move back over into alts if I need to quite quickly and not lose out on the quick alt moves that happen. So that is what I'm doing. Looking at that Bitcoin dominance, guys. This look, we broke the 50% mark, and the last time we broke the 50% mark, let's go back here and take a look. I was looking at this last night talking to my wife, and her eyes glazed over because that's what happens when you talk to someone about TA that don't do TA. Kind of like Crux. When I do TA with Crux, his eyes just glaze over, and he goes, "I don't know what you're talking
Dang.
about."
Dang.
He's a fundamental analyst, and he's really good at it. But yeah, he does not do TA. So let's get back over here. Take a look, guys. So 50% mark is where we are right now. This 50.14. If we go back and look, we've been under this range going all the way back to May of 2021. And I don't know if you guys remember May of 2021 when everybody said, "That's it, it's over. The bear market has started." And then we went up to make a new all-time high later in the year. If you take a look and go further back, the last time we were coming up from below 50 to break 50 would be in 2018, guys. And in 2018, we did a beautiful retest of the 50 at this point right here. And then that was it. From there, it stayed above 50 all the way through the bull run. So keep an eye on that 50% mark. If you want to do this, I'm going to show you guys something. Go to btc.d, go to the 50% mark on your chart here. And as soon as you get to that, just put a little, hit that little plus mark and add an alert there. It's going to put an alert line there. And yeah, crypto cat may be different. Got it. Still do it anyways. And it will let you know if we break down below that alert line. So that's what you can do if you want to keep an eye and make sure that we're staying above that 50% line. If we drop down below it, it could be an indicator that Bitcoin's dominance is going to slow down, and the alts might have a chance to move at that point. But that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin, ADA, XRP, and Ethereum. Let's jump back to Brocam and talk for a second about what you think about this Bitcoin dominance, Tishan.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, it's all kind of stemming from the larger narrative right now of Bitcoin is looking like it's going to be able to dodge this regulatory clarity wave that we've been anticipating in 2023, right? And so there's just a lot of liquidity that's moving out of altcoins and rotating into Bitcoin, right? And so that's the long and short of it. Hopefully, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you've kind of pieced that together already so far. But for folks who are just kind of new to the crypto space or they're coming in from NFTs, that's the reality of it, right? People want to get into from lower risk. They want to get from higher risk assets like altcoins, and coins like ADA, unfortunately, and coins like Matic are seen as like slightly higher risk. And they want to get into Bitcoin and to a slightly lesser extent Ethereum. So that's really kind of what is going on here. The question is, how much more does it get exaggerated? How much more dominance is to come
For
for
sure.
Bitcoin? I'd say probably we haven't seen the end of it. I'd say probably we're going to push 55, maybe even get up into 60,
I I
58.
see 60. I see 60 being a resistance point.
Yeah.
But we got to take into account here, T Shroom. We have some very bullish news on Bitcoin with these ETFs, and there's
Hmm.
a possibility that we not just BlackRock and Grayscale pushing out some stuff now, but we may actually see like a lot of companies come to the forefront now. It's Fidelity, right? Fidelity's the most recent. We could see a lot of these spot ETFs start to come to, hey, we want this approved. They got it done. I want it done too, and that could be massively bullish for Bitcoin. Um, I at this point I really don't know when I'm going to start moving back into my alts if Bitcoin dominance stays strong and this ETF bullishness stays on the Bitcoin rail line, because that train's just going to keep chugging along in my opinion. So with the
Yeah.
3x leverage, that could be a fantastic run on Bitcoin for my trade. So
Yeah. One thing that we haven't pulled up very often is the ETH dominance. So ETH.D. That's something I've got pulled up. But I'd like to see what your. Oh, I don't have it pulled up right this second. Sorry. I'd like to see what your thoughts on that are, Piper. Um, because right now, I mean, I could take a look at it, but I'd like to get your thoughts, kind of your analysis on the ETH.D. And then I also, while you're pulling that up, I also heard some commentary the other day. I guess it was yesterday, about uh, taking away the stable coins from the analysis of dominance, because stable coins take up a lot um, in terms of market cap in the top 10. And so it actually can be more useful to look at Bitcoin dominance minus stable coins. So perhaps we can take a look at that as well. I'm not really sure how to bring that up. I can take a look at it, but Piper, yeah, let's go ahead and see. Do you have the
yeah,
ETH.D pulled up?
that's going to be your total two and total three, just so you're tracking, T-Shroom.
Okay.
Total two and total three exclude out. I don't remember which one is which. I think total two does not include ETH, I think, and then total three doesn't include any stable tokens. Tim, I know you know. Let me know in the chat, because you're the guy I learned all this stuff from. So
Yeah.
Tim's still the master of TA. So um, it's actually in the song. He's the professor of TA.
Hmm.
Shout it out loud on the
That's right.
PA. So yeah, let's take a look at ETH dominance here. ETH dominance looks like it's about to come back up. We're getting really good support here
You share your
on
screen.
the
Wah,
wow,
wah.
wow. Hey, I'm trying to run everything here, man. I'm a one man show with the
Trying to
awesome sidekick
He's trying
today.
to do TAs, trying to narrate, and he's trying to fire shots over at Crux. Man, he's just trying to do everything today.
I know it's crazy. We do have a breaker block sitting right here below on ETH dominance chart. We are breaking above the maps line here for a retest right now. Looks like that's going to be our support, and we're above the dynamic reactor. So ETH dominance is looking pretty good. It does look like we're about to have another uptick on it, so it could be that we bounce here to come back up. But I think that this ETH dominance right now is really just being crushed, man, by all of the low prices that were coming in on the alts right now. So
Yeah.
that's why we had this nice little pullback here. Not expecting to see too much lower though than right now. That 20% mark seems to be a trend, that area that we stay in during healthy markets for Ethereum. So um it does look like we're on the way back up right now too on the MACD normalized. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I'm seeing on that. Let me go check the total two and total three. BTC ETH, all stables, is 80% of the entire market cap. There is no way Bitcoin can get to 60 by itself. That's what Crux said. That's what Crux thinks. Crux called us out there on that T stream.
Yeah.
um, Let me go look for total two and total three in here just to see where they're at. Maybe we'll do that in bro time today or something. That would be a
Okay.
good idea. I'll have that all pulled up by then. But yeah, it is 7:30 T-Shroom, and you know what that means. It is time to transition to the next part
Yeah.
of our show, which is Market Open with T-Shroom. So
Let's open the market. Let's get into it. So, starting off here with the SPY, I've got pulled up in the early minutes of trading. You can see that it is down. I've got a daily chart pulled up here. Let me actually go to the SPY, SPX, not the SPY, so we can get the actual price here. Coming in at 4,390 is the SPX. So coming down markedly. It was in that premium range, and now it has come back down to test a little bit lower, more than likely with its aim set here at 4,359. Uh, and so let's go ahead and check out the indexes more generally here. NASDAQ is the only green name here in your first minute of trading in the New York session. Dow Jones down 0.2, SPX down 0.4 as I'm reading it. Taking a look here at energy, you can see that natural gas and oil are basically unchanged, although oil is down 1%. Now I haven't looked at oil yet. Yeah, mostly sideways here since I've been gone. Has had a pretty sizable move down to 67. So you guys probably enjoyed those gas prices quite a bit, but it's come back up just above $70 per barrel. So energy kind of playing its role here in the CPI story. Energy playing its role in inflation, staying low, staying slow, and helping the global economy kind of recover from those supply chain issues so that inflation can come down across US, Europe, and Asia. Well, we've talked about energy, we've talked about the indexes. Let's go ahead and get into crypto. You can see across the screen, it's mostly red. Bitcoin futures contracts are up 2%, but mostly red across the board. Uniswap down 2%. Let's see, XLM down 1%. And Lido is actually up 1% here. And then your biggest mover to the upside today is actually be OP. So Optimism Chain is actually doing rather well this morning here on a daily chart. You can see it's been in this descending pattern here for a while, but it is actually trying to make a comeback here a little bit. And if I turn on the Bollinger Bands, you can see it's below the Bollinger Bands midline section there on the daily chart as well. So continuing to watch that, continuing to monitor this movement downwards for altcoins as we've kind of beaten the dead horse here, but as Bitcoin dominance picks up, money, wealth rotating from those altcoins with high hopes into Bitcoin with more measured hopes to the upside. Gold and silver coming in lower this morning. Silver down 2.8%, gold down 0.6% there. Let's take a look at gold. Again, these are some of the first times I'm seeing these charts for a while. Gold basically stable coining through June, making this range here from 19, where it is right now at 1936 to call it 1969. So really just kind of providing stability for the market, not moving up or down in any significant way. You did see a wick quite a bit lower there on the 15th, but mostly nothing to see there in gold, other than the fact. Well, what I will point out is it's broken down below this uptrending line of support, and now is actually potentially could see a lower movement depending on what happens in the macro. And with the Fed pausing, there's a little bit less of an argument for staying out of stocks and staying in gold. There's a little more of an argument for go ahead and rotating out of gold and getting into stocks. That's just a very, very shallow analysis, though. I would not make any moves on that. Silver, pretty much the same thing, although you're seeing a lot more volatility as to be expected from silver. So let's keep moving here, guys. Let's check out our mega cap tech stock movement, guys. Tesla, biggest mover here on the screen, up 1.5%. AMD, not too far behind, up 1.3%. But overall, you'd have to say that the mega cap tech stocks here are mixed. Microsoft down 0.4, Meta down 0.5. A lot of names getting repriced this morning here. Let's take a look at Amazon's chart and just kind of see where it is on the monthly Bollinger Band. As you guys know, I love me some monthly Bollinger Band analysis. As you can see here, man, Amazon just now coming into that midline on the Bollinger Band on the monthly chart. So still some room to run there. Actually, I want to go ahead and compare that to Bitcoin, which is I believe in a similar space right now. I've got a lot of vertical lines here. Let me bring those off. Those were the Fed announcements, the Fed decision lines. But as you can see here, Bitcoin kind of doing something similar here relative to big mega cap tech stocks. It hasn't crossed that midsection just yet for on the Bollinger Band. Whereas as you can see here on Amazon, Amazon is just now ticking up above that midline. Tesla just now ticking up a bit above that midline, but Apple and Microsoft been ticked up above it, right? And they've actually pushed to new highs. And then Microsoft, you can see same thing. Again, I'm looking at the proximity, the distance from that midsection of the Bollinger Band to try and gauge, which assets are getting bought most aggressively relative to some moving averages known as the Bollinger Bands. I'll take one last look here at NVIDIA. NVIDIA has had a rocket ship higher, as we've seen with the AI plays. And then Oracle, something similar, kind of hasn't been crackling in the news anywhere near as much as NVIDIA or Apple recently, but it has seen a lot of upside as well. Again, so let's go ahead and we've looked at the mega cap tech stocks. We've looked at mostly everything else, but your bond yields are also coming in lower this morning across the board. Not a single green name here for any of these time dates, but your benchmark 10-year down 2.5% there on the yield. So cannabis, pretty much mixed. Nothing to see there. Hopefully, this will be a story moving into the election season. Hopefully, cannabis will be a little bit more relevant. I know I've got a lot of sunk capital in cannabis, unfortunately, in cannabis stocks, I should say, because it's a for legal purposes, cannabis stocks, not cannabis. And then you've got your mid cap stocks here, which we can do some quick analysis here. C3.ai, the big AI name here in the mid cap tech stock section, at least my section. I've gone the monthly chart. Let's go back to the daily chart. And you can see here, C3.ai is picking up some momentum. So really getting a nice confirmed move to the upside. Look how straight that trend on that lower support is. That's pretty impressive.
That is nice.
And moving in the right direction there is C3.ai, an enterprise AI integrator. So if you're a business, if you're agricultural business, if you're cloud business, if you're manufacturing, they come in and they try to sell you an AI, right? AI services for your business. A little different from Microsoft, which just bought the company that has the AI. So something to watch there. I think that C3.ai is going to do pretty well here over the next 3 to 5 years. Robinhood down lower, Coinbase up 2%. Coinbase actually coming back in. It's been beaten. It hasn't been able to get up above I think it was the weekly I was taking a look at, and we are doing some lengthy analysis here in the market open, guys. Hopefully you're appreciating it. Haven't been able to really look at the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I was looking at, but I'd say Coinbase is pretty undervalued right now. I know that ARK Invest was buying quite a bit a couple weeks ago, but Coinbase has not really been able to impress since then. So it's stayed below this downtrending line of resistance, not really printing above it. Had a nice little intraday slice through back on the 20th of March. But since then, it's just continued on this downtrend, staying below the Bollinger Band midline section here as well. So
Yeah,
continuing.
I think there's a lot
Go ahead.
of fear. I think there's a lot of fear right now for Coinbase because of the SEC stuff. I'm sure that once
Right.
more clarity comes out on that, it will be a pop off from its current level. So
Mm-hmm. It makes sense, and actually, I think before we get into the stories, I wouldn't mind. I mean, we're a decent amount ahead of schedule here. Well, let me just wrap it up. Big banks, your big banks here are all coming in markedly lower. Goldman Sachs leading lower here, down 1.3%. Let's see, your big oil as well, kind of showing similar signs here. With Schellenberger leading lower, down 1.8%. So just to kind of zoom out here, we can go to the Brocam. Kind of what we can expect for the rest of the year is the chaos of this regulatory clarity is going to lead to volatility. There'll be up days, there'll be down days. Like today might be an up day because of this Deutsche Bank headline, right? We're going to cover that here in just a second. But I think predominantly you have to have a bearish bias, especially if you're looking at altcoins like Matic or ADA, which have these massive headwinds kind of blowing against any kind of hope for a movement to the upside, right?
absolutely.
So I think the macro bias in crypto specifically is going to be this net regulatory clarity narrative, which we've been anticipating for about 2 years. I think we're right in the middle of it right now. I think we're right in the middle of the storm, not the eye of the storm, because the eye of the storm is peaceful. We're in the middle of the storm, just getting hammered from all angles. We saw a lot of that at the beginning of 2023. I think we're seeing a lot of those threats kind of come to fruition now, and I would expect more throughout the rest of the year. But the light at the end of the tunnel, guys, is that once we get to the other side, right? It's going to be painful to get there, but once we get to the other side, big banks, large financial institutions that hold 401k funds and manage for American and European 401ks, they're going to know what they can and can't do in the industry, in the crypto industry, and they're going to start deploying real capital, guys. And then we're going to see, you know, multiple digits added to the market cap for crypto. And yes, the landscape's going to look different. It may not be as favorable as it is now for the freedom flow of crypto, right? But it's going to be able to attract a larger tranche of investment, and then from there, you're going to see the slow, heavy integration uh, of crypto into our financial system, fully and once and for all, in a way that's actually going to benefit the economy, and that is going to do what we've been anticipating in crypto for a long time. It's going to throw fuel on the fire of our global economy, and it's going to provide a stable standard based on Bitcoin, right? Mostly, will standard for our economy to grow and thrive based on a real deep value asset. So, Piper, that's kind of my thoughts on that. We got our market open. Did you have anything on that before we get into the stories?
No, I do want to touch on community though in a comment. Paul C said, "What's your take on the reports of military tanks and other vehicles moving through neighborhoods across the U.S.?" It's not across the U.S. It's in D.C. Uh, there's two Bradleys, which are Bradley fighting vehicles. They are an infantry, mechanized infantry vehicle that they are moving from the yard where they all sit in DC over to the National Mall because it's Fourth of July soon, and so they have to get them there and get them staged. Plus, it provides presence of military show to the population because right now the United States Army is having a massive recruiting issue and can't seem to get people to join. So they're trying to spread their awareness out there and show people the cool vehicles that we have. They do this every year. Every year, National Mall does a whole military display for Fourth of July. So that's what I got to say there. Let's go over and jump into the community, and let me show the screen here. Show the screen. There we go. We had somebody yesterday asking about how they got into the voice channel on Discord over in Investing Bros. Guys, you can go to do that. That is for silver and up in that voice channel over there. But if you go down here below in the link below us here, down in the description, you can see right there that Patreon, and that will give you all of our Patreon levels and what you get from Investing Bros for being a member of our community, helping support the show, and you get a few perks for it over there. So go check that out. Secondly, if you want to get into our free Discord, you can click it right here, and that doesn't cost anything. You don't have to be a Patreon member to get access to the other stuff. Well, obviously, use that link right there. If you want to join Chart Prime's Discord, it's right here, and you can get over there. It's free to join that also. You won't get access to the crypto trade signals and the indicators and the TA talk show and all that stuff that we do over there, but you will get into the free, and it's a great community. These are great communities, regardless if you're in there for free 99 or in there for, at a membership level. And then lastly, if you want to get the links, if you want to get the indicators that we use here on the show, Chart Prime indicators, along with access to live classes and crypto trade signals and all that other stuff, go down here, click this Chart Prime link right here. You'll get 45% off your first monthly or quarterly subscription. I'm done chilling. It's time to start chilling, and let's do some news with T-Shroom. So
Let's do it. We actually had a comment that I went ahead and looked into. Uptex Claymore said cup and handle in the 15-minute chart on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that right now. I've got it pulled up. You can see this is the Coinbase data. You can see there is kind of a nice cup and handle here on the Bitcoin
that
15
is
minute.
a
I would say,
beautiful that is a beautiful cup and handle. Yes.
yeah, I would say so. That's the value of a community, guys. Is folks shouting out the different patterns that they're seeing. And by the way, what is a cup and handle? A cup and handle is a chart formation. It's a pattern that usually plays up to the upside. So, just keep an eye on this. This could, especially as it coincides with this uptrending line of support here. You're more than likely going to see a move to the upside here. And especially as it is in confluence with some of the stories, which we will get into right now. Let's do it, guys. Deutsche Bank applies for digital asset license amid growth push. They said, we're building out our digital assets and custody business, David Lane, who runs the lender's commercial bank unit, said at a conference on Tuesday. We just put our application into the BaFin for the digital asset license, he said, referring to Germany's securities watchdog. So this is a pretty big move here, guys. Deutsche Bank is a $1.4 trillion assets under management bank. So definitely nothing to sneeze at. I will say that they're not the most stable bank, and we've seen some terrible headlines from them earlier this year. When what was it? Um, Credit Suisse was having some was having to be bought out by another Swiss bank, and Deutsche Bank definitely was in that list of names of banks that needed some help. But here, they're turning to boosting their fees, and they're turning to digital assets to do something like that. So, Piper, is this just a little bit of a PR pump here for Deutsche Bank, or do you think this is going to translate into real value and real new investment coming in into crypto?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's bullish for anytime that we get um another bank to run with support to crypto. It's bullish, right? I mean, of course. But what I will point out is that I don't know that it's a big enough bank globally to have a major impact. I'm sure people in Europe and in the EU and Germany probably love it. Ihachi, let me know in the chat. You live in Germany, so let us know in the chat. How you guys feel about this out there. Is this a big deal in Germany? But I don't know that it's a major deal for global crypto adoption. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
curious
Well,
to see what
it's
Ihachi says in the chat here in a bit, though.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I believe it's one of the top stories on Bloomberg Crypto. So it's definitely going to be making its rounds around its rounds on uh, on the crypto media and even some mainstream media. So folks will be, a little more bullish, a little bit of a bullish bias today, probably from a fundamental standpoint on trading crypto. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the other stories. Bitcoin is becoming illiquid at 147K a month in signal of steady accumulation. So what does this mean, guys? Let's break it down. Glassnode's illiquid supply change metric, which measures the number of coins held by illiquid wallets on a specific date, compared with the same day the previous month, rose to $3.9 billion. That's quantity of Bitcoin around 147,000 Bitcoin. So on Monday, and this was the most since December 19th, the total held by illiquid entities has jumped to a record high of 15.2 million Bitcoin, with the tally increased by 215,000 Bitcoin in the past 4 weeks alone. So what does this mean, guys? Well, it means that Bitcoin is being purchased and sent to wallets that don't really sell, right? If I'm reading that right, Pipers, that's essentially what this metric is: illiquid supply change metric from Glassnode. Let me know in the chat if you're reading a little bit differently. Whoa, if you're reading
Nope,
this a little bit differently, but from
that's
my
what
from
I'm
my
getting.
perspective, that's basically what it is. It's whales. It's whales buying and holding at these levels. They like these levels. Honestly, this is around the spot where I put in bought some of the most Bitcoin that I bought in the last 3 months was at 25,300. You know, so 26,000 is not that much lower, not that much higher to go ahead and buy in. I'll show you guys here kind of the logic of this. I mean, we show the charts quite a bit, but just kind of looking at this uptrending uh, uptrending line of support here on a little bit of a zoomed out chart, you can see that Bitcoin on this uptrending line of support, Bitcoin has come and tested this support once, twice, and now it has done it again. And until we had this test down here into 24.8, it was there was like an anxiety. There was an anxiety that we needed to come back and test this. And now that we have, you're starting to see what? You're starting to see big banks coming out with positive crypto headlines. Last week, from my understanding, I wasn't around, but last week it was BlackRock with their ETF story, which is now resonating into this week. And now Deutsche Bank is coming out with this headline here. So, the big banks, it's not like they aren't exposed to crypto. They absolutely are. And some of their clients are as well. So we're starting to see that. And now that we've had this nice little test lower down to 24, now kind of the chains are unleashed, and that big run that Bitcoin has been waiting for could be right around the corner as we test this downtrending line of resistance. So let's keep going, guys. That's not the only stories. This is a little bit more of a fun one here. Nike hints at NFT integration with Fortnite games. You may have heard this story yesterday, Piper, when Piper won Around the Blockchain. This was a story that came out yesterday afternoon, so it was actually featured on Around the Blockchain. Let's hear it for Piper. Give me a +1 Piper in chat if you are happy that he won on Around the Blockchain or actually had some time to check it out live. I know I did. I always watch Around the Blockchain as much as I can. But Chris Akhavan said NFTs coming to Fortnite game. The Nike logo at the end of this Nike dot swoosh Web3 platform promo video seems to indicate that it is. You've got the release date here coming up. Actually, that's today. And then you've got the Unreal Engine logo right next to the dot swoosh. So kind of hinting at potentially a collaboration between Nike, Fortnite, Unreal Engine, some very big names in the gaming and NFT space. And then, some speculation here. Well, not speculation. The Nike Twitter account saying on 6/20 today, the ultimate sneaker hunt begins. So I'm actually probably going to fire up Fortnite today to see what the heck is going on. Play it on my 3070 laptop. 3070, for those of you who don't know, is the name of a spec on a graphics card that is totally sick. So we're going to get into it. I might even stream that a little bit on Discord. So Piper, what was the banter yesterday on Around the Blockchain? What was your takeaway for this headline of Nike getting into NFTs? Is this real? Does it matter? Or is this just kind of more PR for
So,
Nike?
so I think it does matter because I think that they've been going about blockchain gaming wrong. They're trying to establish Web3 blockchain gaming for play to earn to pull gamers over into it. And let's be honest, gamers like simplicity and they like whatever they play on. They don't want to go and try it. I got to go to this website or I got to go do that. They just want to play the game. And so if you want to get them adjusted to Web3 things like NFTs, things like that, why not do it on something like Fortnite, right? So instead of trying to integrate everyone from Web2 gaming over into a Web3 game, why not integrate Web3 things like NFTs into Web2 gaming? And like I said on the thing on the show yesterday, really you just got to look at V-Bucks as a Web2 stablecoin. That's really
Yep.
what it's going to be. So if you're using V-Bucks to buy, for example, the example I gave yesterday was, if you buy a pair of Nike shoes, a really cool pair of Nike shoes, and you're a great player and you go off and, slaughter everybody and, get super sweaty over there on a championship game, then you can put those up on a marketplace. I think the smart thing for Epic Games to do with this would be to put up a resell marketplace where you can take your NFT that you bought and you can offer it to others, and then they just take a portion of every sell on the marketplace, like an auction house, for the NFTs that they sell. I also think that going forward, they should look at doing their icon concerts that they do, the concert series that they have on Fortnite, and promote that as that with a NFT ticket. And you can go,
Mm-hmm.
look, I got an NFT ticket. It could be back bling, whatever you want to put on your character. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited about it. I'm stoked. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. Let's keep trucking here. But my quick analysis is that I've been listening to I've been getting into gaming a little bit more, crypto gaming, and it seems like the space is moving away towards associating themselves with crypto. Because when gamers hear crypto games, they cringe, right? They don't think realistically that they're going to go spend some money or that they're going to spend any time playing it. They think, oh, the mechanics are going to be off, it's not going to be that fun. It's just going to be play to earn, and I'm not that interested. So a lot of crypto gaming companies and games are actually going to try to pivot away from branding themselves as crypto games. So I think that that's probably the right move, and I think that Nike partnering with an existing extremely popular game like Fortnite is probably going to be the path to victory. And if a game can collaborate with Fortnite, a crypto game can collaborate with Fortnite. I know that there's a lot of forge ability, like you can go in and create your own games in like creative mode in Fortnite. And potentially, show off your mechanic and show off some of your characters even in Fortnite. That could be a big way to try to bring some folks over from those bigger platforms, those bigger games like Fortnite, into your crypto ecosystem. So definitely not a crypto gaming expert here, but there could be a lot of potential on the horizon for crypto
Rick,
games. under this
Yeah,
new understanding of how the market wants to play crypto games.
absolutely. Cornucopias. Rick Wilson said cornucopias, and I agree. Cornucopias has got a lot of potential, but they're not even listed anywhere on major exchanges yet. I've actually heard Crow talk about this, that he's very disappointed with how they are working to get themselves listed. Look, you got to have availability to the coin. To get Web2 gamers to come and play a game on blockchain is going to be hard enough as it is. When you have to go through decks to get your coin to play the game, it's never going to happen. Cornucopia has got to get listed on more exchanges. They're going in the right direction with development for the gaming. They're going in the wrong direction for the simplicity of on ramping to the game itself. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Crux of Crypto also made a good point. Maybe we'll do Fortnite in today's bro time, and see how Nike's integrating those NFTs. Oh, we got a couple more stories here, and we'll wrap it out. I'm actually going to tell you guys what I thought was one of the most flabbergasting stories that I've seen coming back from my 2-week training. I've had a hiatus of consuming crypto news, and I wanted to show you guys what I thought was actually pretty significant. But first, it's official. There is a reverse ETF for Jim Cramer and his picks. So finally, it's happened. Says ETF Heresy by Henry Jim, or Hearsay. So there's an inverse Cramer ETF, SJIM, and then there's a long Cramer ETF, LJIM, effective date December 19th. So I don't think they're out quite yet, but this is pretty funny. Um, yeah, if you get it, you get it. We'll move on ahead, guys. This is the story that I thought was most significant. It came out last week. This is that the Bank of China has issued 28 million in digital structured notes on Ethereum blockchain. So structured notes means that this is a loan, right? This is an actual loan. The securitized tokens are governed by Hong Kong and Swiss law, right? So there's some serious institutions here playing a part, and it's on the Ethereum blockchain. So guys, I mean, this is just a continued they've just put the pedal on the metal. By they, I mean China has put the pedal on the metal of thawing their ban on crypto, right? That's kind of setting the example. Hey, Hong Kong. Hey, Shanghai. Hey, tech entrepreneurs in China and around the world, like we are moving forward with crypto. I think it's still probably going to be illegal for the average Chinese mainlander, the retail side of it, or to engage in crypto. But that's more for population control regions. I think that China recognizes here that they need to get back in the arena of crypto, or they're going to be left behind. And at the very least, they're not going to be able to seize on the opportunity of what we talked about a little bit earlier of America and more just specifically America really dragging its feet and opening up this giant gap for other countries and other regulatory areas to go ahead and jump in and take advantage of that gap, fill that gap, and become a staple in the crypto space. Obviously, once America gets its crap together, it will more than likely bounce back and be the biggest crypto market in the world. But in the meantime, folks like Gary Gensler and Joe Biden are just making it infinitely attractive for actors like China and for Dubai and for Russia to go ahead and fill that gap and say, hey, America's too slow here. America's too scared, too skittish. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make some on-ramps for our businesses and to some extent our citizens to go ahead and play this crypto game and build some generational wealth because it's obviously the future. All right, well, that's going to wrap out our show. Go ahead, Piper, and take us out.
No, you were going to tell us what was your most shocking story that you
That
saw.
was it. Bank of China
Okay.
issues 20.
Bank
Yeah,
of China.
that was from June 12th.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sorry about that. My bad. I missed that. I missed it. I was trying to get stuff set up over here.
my transitions are
Totally,
too smooth.
totally. That was very smooth. That was very smooth. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Shout out to everybody who supported me yesterday on Around the Blockchain. I appreciate the community. This is the most generous community in the crypto space, and you guys are the reason that we keep doing what we're doing. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you guys at Bro Time today at 1 p.m. No, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard
3
Time.
p.m.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Bro Time. So if you're not in there, get in there. You got to get that Patreon link. It's all down in the description below. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you the alpha, the TA right here from the Investing Bros. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Investing Bros. Tryna make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Tryna make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.